My eyes opened to a world of pain. A dull, throbbing ache wrapped around my throat, and my head was swimming in a fog I couldn't clear. The first real sensation was thirst, a desperate, cracking dryness that glued my tongue to the roof of my mouth. I tried to swallow, and it felt like sandpaper grinding in my throat. I pushed myself up on trembling arms, my hands sinking into something damp and prickly. Straw. I was kneeling in wet, rotten straw. As my vision adjusted, the darkness took shape. I wasn't in a room. I was in a pen. The walls were rough, splintered wood, slick with a dampness that smelled of earth and decay. The air was thick, heavy with the stench of manure and something else, something metallic. Like old blood, my heart began to hammer against my ribs. Where was I? The last clear memory was the warm haze of whiskey, the bright lights of the cab I'd hailed. This was a nightmare. A sound cut through the silence from the far corner, a low, wet grunt. I froze. Something shifted in the shadows. Something big, it moved with a hulking, uneven gait, shuffling on all fours. A sliver of faint light caught its pale, mottled skin. Like a pig's, but hairless and stretched taut over a frame that was all wrong. Too many joints to human. It lifted its head, sniffing the air with a wet, snuffling sound. And then I saw its eyes. They were small and burned with a faint red light, but they held a terrible, knowing intelligence. The creature opened its mouth, and a whine escaped, a sound that twisted into mangled words. Feed me. Pure, primal terror shot through me. I scrambled backward, my back slamming into the wooden wall. My eyes darted to the gate, a heavy thing, latched with a thick, rusty chain. No way out. Time lost all meaning in the oppressive dark. The thing paced, its hooves scraping against the stone floor beneath the straw. Its grunts a constant, horrifying soundtrack. Then, a sound of salvation, a heavy bolt sliding back. The outer door creaked open, and a lantern flooded the pen with a harsh, swinging light. A man stood silhouetted in the doorway, tall and broad-shouldered, holding a sloshing metal bucket. Hope surged for a single, stupid second. The man unchained the gate and stepped inside. He ignored me completely, walking straight to the creature and dumping the bucket's contents at its feet. It wasn't food from a sack. It was a dark, viscous liquid, and tangled within it were chunks of pink, raw flesh. The thing dove in with a guttural squeal, slurping and tearing, the sound of ripping meat echoing in the small space. The man turned. The lantern light finally fell on his face. He wasn't a monster. He looked like a farmer with a worn, tired face. But his eyes were flat, empty. His voice, when he spoke to me, was calm, almost kind. "You're awake." "Good," he said, wiping his hands on his stained trousers. "You're next to feed the pig, boy." He looked me up and down, a faint, humorless smile touching his lips. "Better hope you taste good." His laughter followed him out as he locked the chain, leaving me in the flickering half-light. The creature, my cellmate, let out a deep, satisfied belch. "I've been here for weeks now. Or maybe it's been months. I lose track. They bring others sometimes. I hear them screaming in other pens, fighters who curse and rattle the gates. They don't last long, but me. I don't fight anymore. I just sit here in the straw, listening to the grunts and snuffles from the corner. I whisper my apologies into the shadows, to everyone I ever wronged. I know it's almost my turn. And the pig is always, always hungry."